Okay, so this is the first hotel room. Yay. I'm in Ominato. I'm going to go visit the temple tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. Um, as per a challenge that Dad issued, I am not going to use any English on this 2.5 week stint. Um, so it'll make things interesting. That'll be definitely for sure. So far today, I've had to look a few things up using my dictionary, but I'm getting really fast with that, and it's becoming less of an issue. Um, I'm still kind of approaching like a kindergarten level vocabulary and speaking ability, but that kind of lets you get around a little bit. So yeah, that's good. And then for people that try to speak English to me, it's actually I had to look up how to explain the word speak. Um, su, suna, anyway, I had to look up the word speak, and so I was on the spot and I was trying to uh, I didn't want to say, oh no, I don't speak English, I speak another language, and have that person just like launch into the language, because it was a translator person at like one of the gate help places, but I wanted to use Japanese, so I looked at her and I went, what's it, Diagwit, I'm beginning to Gwalan, which despite the horrible accent is, hi, do you speak Gaelic? Because that's a language that I'm pretty sure no one here speaks. So, I mean, at least 2% of Ireland speaks it, so it's pretty much dead. So that's kind of become like the excuse to, no, I don't want to speak English, but yes, I still look white. So that worked out well. Places where I had to give over my passport, though, that'd just be stupid. So I have to struggle over the words to manage to say, I understand English, so you can talk to me in English, but I don't want to speak it, because sometimes it's just faster for them, and I don't want to burden anybody while having to wait for me to look up what they're saying. So, but communicating mostly 100% on my end Japanese, little Irish, I guess, and mostly Japanese on their end. So that's it. Tomorrow, like I said, I've gotten to the temple, but tonight I have a clean room with clean sheets and hopefully internet access. I'll find out. Alright, bye. Place looks like Mordor. As long as you look down anyways. When we say high sulfur content, we mean high sulfur content. Good God. What a match would do in this place. Raining cats and dogs, and I am getting soaked. Don't know how well the camera picks it up, but there's like steam coming off of it. That would be a place where water with high sulfur content is bubbling up and boiling, slowly running off in the rain. But yeah, it's a boiling sulfur pool of toxicity. So every once in a while you see like the area around it, it's all lush and green, and then just dead zone, too toxic for anything to grow. It's really interesting. This is the back of the giant Buddha thing. Some sort of inscription. Can't quite read. Maru something, kanji, second line of kanji, kotote shio, kanji. I can't make it out, and something hito. So, amazing statue. Very awesome place, I have to say. Feel the heat coming off. Toasty warm. The lily is the Buddhist flower, so it makes sense of the lily pond here. Interestingly enough, the lake over there is too toxic to support any animal life. But some of the certain plants don't seem to mind it very much. And the lily pond doesn't collect runoff from the top. It looks like it's freshwater fed, and then rain and whatnot. So there's some koi in there. But I imagine you have to do a lot of water changes to keep those poor koi alive. Beautiful white sand beach and the toxic emerald green waters of the Mountain of Fear. Really pretty. I mean, it looks looks like it'd be fun to swim in, but I think it came out a whole lot cleaner than you intended. Yeah. Very, very cool spot. Okay, I went and stuck this finger in the lake and left it there for a bit and then rubbed the water all over it. And as you can see, it looks like it took a little bit of skin off, or at least killed it. Yeah, I started scratching and the skin sloughs off. I'm not gonna do that again. Getting okay with kanji, I'm still really confused. Mouth something, river something, and that looks kind of like 100 but not quite. But kanji is complicated and very, very annoying. Okay, quick Japanese lesson. You see a roped off area with steam coming out of a hole in the ground where there's blue liquid running out. You actually see it, liquid is actually blue. So what does that red sign mean? Can you guess what those kanji stand for? Yeah, that's the blue liquid, and that definitely looks healthy. God. So the question is, would the EPA outlaw this particular environment? Japan travel tip. Yeah. When in lack of a power supply, vending machines always have plugs nearby. And you can hijack their electricity while you wait for a bus or something. So, that you know. Best hotel room I've been in a long time. This is at Gujo Hachiman. This is the room. The cushions, the futon make the bed in that closet right there. But the best part is this little ante-room. You can close this off for privacy if you want. Out onto a little garden. And it's raining right now, pretty profusely, but it's really warm out. Reminds me of Philmont. It's very cool. Gotta like it. So, I'm happy. Thank you guys. Okay, bye. Alright, sorry to keep going up at the hotel room, but check this out. This is so cool. Hot water thing, right? Corner of the room. Lid off. We have an actual teapot. We have actual loose leaf tea. We have teacup. Should probably get the protector for the pot. And then, what's in here? No idea what that is. Which is probably important. If I don't know what it is, it has to do something. Oh well, we'll find out. Make some tea, huh? Okay, so I'm outside of the city. That's just from rainfall off the streets. It's downpouring. I am soaking wet, enjoying every minute of it. River's kind of cool. The town's pretty small though. But there are these two rivers. You can kind of see I'm getting some cover from the rain here. There are two rivers you can see meeting right there. They're tributaries that acted as moats to the castle, which is somewhere on that hill up there. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the castle right there. So a giant moat for the castle and the town, and autofocus does not want to work. Anyway, there's a castle up there, take my word for it. So that's it. A lot of fun. It's all going well. Talk to you later. Alright, so a few things. First, they laid out my bed for me while I was at dinner. Second, dinner was interesting. It was actually really good, though I don't think Dad would be able to eat it. If you have problems with sushi, you would have definitely had problems with the meal here. It started out with a little sampler plate thingamabob with some fried fins on the left side, some edamame, which is little beans, and those are pretty good. You would have been fine with that. Then over to see that edamame, some sort. I forget what was in the middle. And then it went on to sushi with their. The middle was a a baked fish about that big, just sitting there. It had been gutted. That was it. Head and tail, everything still intact. And so you picked around that. because it was so small. The bones and the ribs you couldn't avoid, so you just ate those with everything else, and all that's left was a head, a tail, and a little spine going across. Still pretty good, if a little crunchy. Um, the and then the local fish here, which was pretty much all the fish that I had today, was actually pretty good. It's in the stream just out of the hotel, and they do catch them there. I saw fishermen when I came up, and they packed up and it was raining, I think, but they do catch them from the stream just outside of the town a little ways. So a little tiny one, and then sushi of the same, bigger of the same fish, and then was sashimi, which is just the raw fish, served on a bowl of shaved ice, with the raw head of the fish at one end and the raw tail at the other end, and then just chunks of that particular fish, of the fillet, 4 pieces, so 2 chunks long, a chunk on each side, and you could see where some of the skin was left from when they had done everything. So it literally just been, we took the fish, we gutted it, we cleaned it, and then we cut off some sections and threw it on a plate for you. Well, a bowl of shaved ice. That was actually pretty good. The next course involved some vegetables in a little thing, and then 2 fish, same species. It's a kind of a trout sort of dealio, that had been baked. When I say baked, I mean they just baked them. They had been covered, I think, in what was salt water, because salt crystallized on the fins. It wasn't sprinkled, it had actually formed on. So it must have been dissolved in something when they cooked it, and then evaporated off. And those hadn't been gutted. So they literally just took the fish, scaled it, and threw it in the oven. And those were actually pretty good. The meat inside had been very well done, because there was no cut from skinning or anything else. It had sort of steamed in its own juices. So as long as they ate around the entrails, which was pretty easy, it was good enough to do. So there was 2 of those about that long. So not a huge amount of meat, but a decent amount of meat in each one. Then on to the next course was some sort of plant. It tasted almost like juniper, and it had been suspended in this clearish jelly in a cup, and you drink that. And I only got through about half of it. It was good, but the texture was just too weird for me. And then and I actually got pretty good at peeling the skin off a fish with just chopsticks, without any hands, which I had problems with at the dorm. So here it was just kind of like, aha, I've done this before. Peel back, take off some skin, eat it, go for the fish. And then after that came a soup with some more of the little fish in it, and then a second soup, kind of like served in like a miso soup bowl, but it tasted like pine wood. So I don't know what they cooked it in, but it was really dark. And it was kind of good, but it got old real fast. The first few sips were kind of like, wow, this is interesting. And after that, it's kind of like, I'm just not going to finish this particular soup. And they had already served so much. And then rice. And I think that was it for the main meal. A few little vegetable things here and there. And then, that one soup with the pine stuff in it had a little piece of meat in there. I had about half of it, like taking a bite, and it felt like escargot, and it looked like no kind of fish. So it was, I think it was some kind of bug or some kind of slug, but it tasted, it was eh. And then there was also a noodle dish before the 2 fish that came out that were baked, and it looked like they had taken an egg and cracked it into boiling water. So it's kind of like over easy, but all the way around. So they pulled it out and put it in this cold noodles, which was actually really good. And you'd sort of break the egg open and you'd get it all over the noodles and you'd eat it up, and that was actually kind of nice. So it was interesting. Dessert was kind of was pretty good. It was there a little Jello thingamabob that I had once before, like a cheap version at a convenience store, and then was it cantaloupe? No, like it tasted like honeydew. It was like the green one. I don't know if it was, but it tasted like that. And then a little cup of vanilla ice cream with coffee gelatin around it, and that was pretty good. But I couldn't finish it all because I was like, ugh, I still am, very full. So it was good. I forgot to bring the camera to the meal, but I'll take pictures of the next meals to come up because they were very fascinating. I'd be interested to see the photos of them. But I didn't do it this time because I didn't have the camera or my cell phone with me, so I apologize. But that's it. I start training tomorrow, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, so break down what's currently going on. Because of the heavy rain, the cave is closed. Apparently it's turned into one giant river, and that presents a safety problem. So I'm going to go straight to the castle, check out the temples from this little area. Let's see. The castle is straight up that hill, so I have some walking to do in the rain, uphill, in a river basically. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully the next hotel will have laundry service, so I can use a dryer. But luckily I have 2 towels with me, so I can wrap any wet clothes I have in a towel when it goes in the backpack. So that's the current situation. Missing the cave, kind of bummed, but what can you do? So, alright, that's it. Signing off. Okay, a lot of the staircases in Japan have little drainage things, especially the old ones, like this. You know, and I always thought, well, how practical can that be, right? You know, when it's raining, I guess it takes a little water off the load, but this is what they're meant to handle, I guess. Christ almighty. So, yeah, this will be interesting. Amazing view. Everything here is in Japanese, of course, but it does lead to the question is why they're playing green sleeves in the background. That was something I was kind of confused about, but whatever. The town that I walked from is down there. It's only about 15 minutes or so from the base. I don't know if you can see through the fog, but there's more town over in that direction. And then forest. And the entrance to the castle is down around there somewhere. Very cool. To give you an idea how bad the rain is, it's breaking its banks. I'm taking this shot from the top of the mountain, and that you're looking at covered in water down there is a dock that goes to a flat section that was like 3 or 4 feet above the water last night. So it's definitely rising. Inside the river, even getting a bunch of, where is it? A bunch of rapids are forming. Nasty looking stuff too, and you get real close to it. You get this feeling of if I fall in that water, I'm not coming out again. So, that's it. Okay, so this path, pretty damn steep. I took the road up on the other side. I'm taking this road on the way down. Cars do traverse it. It looks like this road is meant for pedestrians because there's this little side paths every once in a while going further up the hill that are pretty damn steep and very wet. So I thought I'd just check one out. So that's it. But okay, complete and utter fail at trail building. There's a stream forming when they have a big rock there, a big rock there, a bunch of other rocks and wood. They should have made a little diversion to cut off that side, drain water down the hill. Bad people, bad. This is some famous spring thing. Supposedly this area has the cleanest water in Japan. Most pure, whatever they want to call it. I believe it, but I'm probably not going to sample some just because I'm paranoid. And besides, this water is far more interesting to look at. Holy shit. So yeah, don't fall in that. I'm a strong swimmer, but I don't think I'd get out of that at all. That would hurt. Well, it would hurt for the brief few seconds that you were alive anyways. Less gaudy than the last place. Very nice actually. This is in Takayama. Taka, the first part, first kanji, is the unconjugated form of takai, which is expensive or tall. In this case, tall. Yama is mountain. So Takayama is tall mountain. So this is the tall mountain town. I have a view of the town from here. It's pretty interesting. I'm just on the edge of Old Towns. There's some new town stuff over there. Very nice from what I've seen driving in. Well, riding in. On the train ride, I actually got to see 2 monkeys, which is kind of cool. And they were ravaging someone's garden. Which is kind of funny. I had never really thought of them as pests before. I mean, they would be, and a whole lot more difficult to trick than squirrels, I would think. So, that's it. And then also, unlike the other place, I get to lay my own bed out. So, there's my bed. Oh, there's the cushion part, and there's the bed. So, yay. And, yeah, a little less stuck up, too. So this place is a lot more to my liking. Although I lack the garden here, but closet and provided towels and washcloth for me, so all's good. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. And this is how you know this town is actually just a tourist town. Yep. Oh well, pretty though. But obviously more of a tourist trap than Gujo was. Gujo still had well, I was the only white guy around. Some Japanese tourists, but that was it. This place, I am just one of many. Feels kind of odd. It's like, you're white. Why? Feels weird. So, anyway. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye. You take off your shoes and you go inside, leave your tour of the house. This is actually an original old house, but I'm guessing it's kind of like the story of the hatchet, you know? It's the same trusty hatchet. I had to replace the blade 5 times and the handle 6, but it's still the same hatchet. Probably the same sort of thing, but this is the one of the houses. I believe this is where they dried out logs and pieces of wood that they'd use to dry the rice. Loom of some sort. Cotton, hemp yarn. Woodworking tools. I gotta love the size of the doors here. It's funny, since I'm wearing sandals and it's not necessarily polite to walk around barefoot in someone's house, I carry socks in the pocket of one of my mini pockets of my pants. So when I go to a house or a building, I can take off my sandals and throw on socks. It's kind of funny. More looms. Tatami mats. House shrine. So, interesting place. I mean, for a house hundreds of years ago, definitely not bad. Okay, I like the shingle construction. You know, shingles, are long and laid shingle on shingle on shingle. They're actually about a foot long, even though only a few inches show. So weight is transferred back. And then at the very end is a piece of wood that goes all the way across them, and rocks to hold all the shingles in place. So the shingles aren't nailed or anything. They're held by the weight of the rocks up top, and all the pressure is transferred through all the shingles. Very cool. And there's even ones on the top, of course. It's amazing, actually. You'd think in a tourist trap they'd at least provide slippers or the correct size. For crushing, we use a seesaw. Beautiful. No doubt any villagers would have kept better care of their little system of water movement. Which is supposed to turn the water wheel in the other direction. Can't beat the wind if it's broken. Oh well. Something tells me the water wheel should not be going in that particular direction. Oh well. Notice the sliding door sections that divide the room. It could be sectioned off to different sizes and scopes. Very modular. Interesting. Okay, so that stuff that was really rich at that one restaurant and kind of weird to me, turns out it was poisonous at some point. Yay. So it was this stuff. So obviously something fairly local. Yeah. It's interesting to say the least. He came right to the water's edge and he wants to peck at my toes. And I now understand why that piece of wood and the one over there were built the way they are. They keep this little guy from eating my toes off, don't they? Yes, they do. Are you sad you can't get to the toes? Oh, he's discouraged. Poor little guy. It's okay. They look like worms wiggling like that, don't they? Come on. Follow the toes. Oh, but you can't. Wait, toes over here. This goose is too much fun. Or swan, I guess it is. Okay, these things are little piston-like dealios connected to a crushing block. They fill full of water, and they pour the water out, and then come with, see the Roctite on top, come swinging back down really hard to crush whatever's inside the container. So let's see if we can get this on film here as it fills up with water near the top. Here it goes. And that will crush whatever you need. Good God. Very cool. As you can read, it's early 1800s. That would be the Meiji era. M-E-J-I, or Meiji in the proper letters. Which was, I believe, when the government, a government did a little revolution. A fairly bloody one, if I remember correctly. And the classes were dissolved. At least the samurai class the warrior class was dissolved. And so you had a lot of families that had been warrior class that lost everything. Swords were illegal to carry out in the streets. Basically a weapon control, like gun control today, but with swords and guns too, actually. And so a big social upheaval. An interesting time to say the least. So, and they were shipping in more and more Western stuff. They were sort of getting modernized. So, interesting historical note. I think he recognizes me and my toes. He just turned and he's coming slowly this way. And he accelerates. Oh, poor guy. I came here to feed the fish and stumbled across this guy. That's a big snake. Hey, and it might be poisonous. The head shape looks like it has the arrow to it, though it's very small. I guess I should probably step to the side of that snake and not touch it. But the fish seem to know why I'm here. Oh, wow. They're like little sharks. The box is food, and there's pellets inside the box. Wow, like piranhas. Good God. Welcome back. I can't seem to get this place to show the proper lighting to show how pretty this place is, so I apologize. It's actually a little darker than it shows up on the camera, giving the whole place a very somber, very cool green look. It's very pleasant, actually. Perhaps it is my paranoid nature, but this place reminds me of Higurashi no Nakukoro ni. Better run before I get spirited away. The main temple front you can see is this building right here on that side, but it extends through private buildings up to the main shrine over here behind a wall, which I'm sure they keep closed to keep tourists like me out, and also to protect the statue that's obviously inside there, and no doubt the approach up to the Buddha. Make it nice, long, and grand. So these buildings are basically antechambers. There's probably just a long hallway going straight up, probably a series of stairs to the Buddha. Pretty cool, actually. Okay, so I just did a bath thing here. It's interesting. The usual convention when you have only two rooms is to have a boy-girl room and a girl room, because couples sometimes want to bathe together. It's interesting, actually. It's not a sexual thing at all over here, because well, more than just one couple can be in there. So it's just a bonding sort of thing. But still, especially today, girls are nervous, so they usually have a girls' room and a guy-girls room. But in this place, they had a guy's room and a guy's girl room. So it struck me as kind of odd that there was no bathing place where the girls could just bathe the girls. There's a place for guys only, and then a place for both. So different, but fine. So that's it. Bye.